Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where it's all about fashion, beauty and lifestyle. As you can see, the setup of today is looking awesome. Guess why? I'm going to do a video about fatherhood. It's soon going to be Father's Day, and definitely, as you can see, we are rocking it. Tunaka fathers kiasi. But anyway guys, this is the setup, and today's video is actually sponsored by none other than 510 Deco. Guys, this is 510. As you are all aware, I've been with her throughout. She's the one who does my props, and I'm really grateful at 510. Thank you so much for doing all this for me. God bless you so much, and let's get back to the video. With me, I have a story that I would really like to share. It's actually a personal story. I really don't talk about it that much. I only tell this story to my closest friends, but today I want to share it because we are heading to Father's Day, and of course each and every one of us have different stories to share about their personal lives, of how they've been raised by their fathers. So to begin with this story, I want to say that I had two dads, guys. I had two dads, and the reason I'm saying that is because, first of all, I have one, the one that gave seed to me, who gave seed, and yeah, I was born, but unfortunately he passed on just a few weeks later after I was born. And I came to find out this story later in my life, because when growing up, it wasn't easy for me, and I found a blended family. My mom remarried actually because she was young at the time and still single, but being a widow, she purposed to move on with her life. So she got married to now the dad who raised me, who had other 4 children, and so I came in as the other child. So I got adopted. So that's my story, and therefore the distinction was quite visible for me to see. But it took me time, and I had to bury this in my heart until one day my mom came and now told me that I actually come from another father, and I was like, yeah, now that makes sense. That really makes sense. And from that moment, I had the urge to get to know who is this father I'm being told about, and where is he from, and But my mom at that time, I was, as you are, okay, for lack of a better word, old school parents. It's like my mom moved on, so she didn't want so much, to tell me so much about my dad. Aliniambia too, my dad was sick and he died and buried, and she moved on with her life. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And you couldn't start asking so many questions because I could see her brushing it off. She didn't want to talk about it. It was her past. Now she has a new family. She has other kids to raise from that other family, and now she has a new family for herself, where like, for instance, I got to have my other 2 brothers now from the father who has raised me. And yeah, that was her life at that time, and she didn't want to talk about my father until I got to high school. Is when the desire for me to know my father just checked me.
Okay.
So when I cleared high school, I kept praying and asking God to really guide me and show me how to go about all this issue. Like, I really need to know, and I didn't know where to start from. So I happened to approach my mom, and I just asked her, like, nicely, and she began to give me the stories of like, my dad, his origin, and why I'm named after him, and of course all those nitty-gritties that someone usually asks about their biological parents. And later on, I came to meet them. I came to meet some of them, and definitely it gave me so much joy to see and know that I have other uncles, I have cousins, I have other relatives from my biological dad. And yeah, it was such an amazing moment. It was such a wonderful time coming to meet them and to know them. And some of them enyewe tunafanana, some of them, they're called like me. We have this common name that we use as a family name, and yeah, that is how I got to know them. So it was such an interesting journey. And of course, I know people have gone through issues when it comes to blended families. Comment down there and let me know your story. If you've come from a blended family, kindly let me know how it was for you, and let me know how you got to get raised. If you have been raised by a different father, kindly comment down there and let me know, and share your story. I'll be glad.
So, did you ever feel like part of the family once you found out the truth?
In the beginning, it was not easy. It was tricky. Because it was always a constant reminder that I came in, but I fitted in later on. I fitted in. It's a bad thing when you know that you've been told you're not from this family, definitely, and you want to, unaka too laid back. You want to just watch things happening, but later on you realize these are still your brothers, these are still your sisters, and this is one family. You bear their name, and I was adopted. Yeah, you tend to blend in, sort of, and yeah, I felt accommodated.
Did you ever become close with your now second dad?
We kinda happened to be close, but not that close. I came actually to know him later when I went to high school, and later on when I was actually getting married at that season of my life, and we interacted, and even before he passed on is when we actually interacted together more, and I could see my dad, really saying that, this is my daughter, and that made me feel so happy. And yeah, I'm grateful that he raised me. He took me in, without hakuwa anateta ati no, this is not my daughter, or tried to show me that he's not my father. He took it in well, and I appreciate that so much. Well, that comes to the end of my story, guys. So I hope you will tell me about your story, and of course I want to introduce to you my other friend. I want her to tell you her story, because we all have similar stories, but I would like her to tell you her story of how she's been raised by her dad and what happened in her family. So welcome, Gloria Masharia.
Go.
Hey guys, my name is Gloria Masharia, and the creative director at 510 Decor and 510 Interiors, and yes, today I'm Jojo's sponsor. And I want to share, this is a tribute to my dad, the late John Raphael Dohio Masharia, and yes, it's I think 19 years if I'm not wrong, or even more, since he passed away. But yeah, I miss him a lot, and he was a great inspiration in my life, considering I took 3/4 of his personality. So yeah, he still lives on inside of me. And my story about my dad is that he was a great guy. I appreciate the seasons that we shared together, and I wish he didn't die in 2001. I was only in Form 3, and 3/4 of my life I have been in boarding school, and so I miss him. I miss doing life with him. I miss having him around. I miss a lot that we would have had and shared together.
So was he a cool dad?
Yeah, he was cool. He was awesome. One thing I truly enjoyed is that he allowed us to hug him. Personally, I used to wait for him at the door. I used to have friends who used to say when their dad comes home, they'd run to the bedroom, and for us it was totally different. He used to come home happy knowing that he's going to receive a lot of love from us, and I enjoyed him. He was an easy dad, and he was fun to be with. And my fondest memories of him is from when he used to pick me up from school. It was so much fun, and I'd give him so many stories about my day and the teachers. And yeah, I miss him. And he also used to come for Prize Giving Day and Swimming Gala and Sports Day, even if I wasn't participating, and then we'd go home. And so yeah, I miss him. And I truly wish he was around. And yeah, to see the woman I've become.
Wow. So because you're so many sisters, and you know they usually say that girls are so acquainted to their daddies. So how did that come about, having so many sisters and him? Of course he was a married man. Imagine now wasichana wote, a wife, sisters, and you only have one brother. So how was it, sharing that love?
That
that
wasn't
moment.
hard because I'm the last born of 6 kids, and the difference between me and the firstborn is 17 years. So
Wow.
there is a gap. So by the time I was coming around, the sister I follow was 6 years. So yeah, I personally have grown up like an only child, because most of my siblings were away in boarding school or college or university. So basically, I got to enjoy my dad, and we didn't have to fight for attention.
Wow, that is nice.
Yeah.
So what were his hobbies, now that at least you got a chance to be raised by a father, yeah. And to know
I
him.
guess, okay, apart from the normal and kawaida thing we have come to embrace in this Kenyan culture of nyama choma and alcohol, I can't really say, but I know he really loved to wear kaunda suits.
Wow, them old school,
Yes, them old school.
but looking sharp.
Yes, looking sharp on the weekend, and used to like wearing capes. My dad was very fancy, and that's where I got my fanciness from. He used to have his initials embroidered on his shirt.
Wow,
His shirts had
you
his
mean?
initials, JRN. And he'd wear cufflinks even before I knew what cufflinks were. And yeah, I mean, considering he was a diplomat,
Wow.
he was well versed with the world. So yeah.
Wow. So if he were here today, what could have you told? So if he were here today, being Father's Day, ungemwambia nini?
I would have told him I love him very, very much, and that he's a great dad. In spite of everything, no one is perfect, but I would appreciate him for this far we've come, and for the far we have to go, and to celebrate him for the awesome dad that he is or would have been. Yeah.
Another male guest. I am super, super excited. So I'm going to he's going to introduce himself actually. So welcome my next guest.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. My name is Michael. My experience being a dad is my story. Being a dad it is so awesome. Being raised by a dad, then myself coming up to be a dad. Right now I have like 3 boys who are my angels to me. every time that I wake up in the morning, first thing I want to hear the voice, to see them, to know how they are. And my experience being as a dad to them is something that makes me great and happy, and I feel special to them. I'll urge young people who are becoming, they want to become dads, that it's never easy, but it's a very good experience. In just being called a dad, taking care of them each and every time.
Wasn't that amazing hearing from a male what it is to be a father and how exciting it is to raise? Ati, how many children did you say? 3. Hey, 3 children. And yeah, congratulations. And anyway, we want to come to the end of this video. How was it?
It was awesome, man. Had so much fun dressing up.
How was our
man.
look? By the way,
I
guys,
hope we've nailed it.
have we nailed it?
Representing.
Have we represented the father figure,
I
guys?
tell you.
Yeah, by then, love. I mean, but then tell us how you came up with this look.
Hey, Pinterest is your new BFF. So please, tafuta to Pinterest. Yeah.
Ebu stand up and showcase.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Look at that. Wow. And Mimi, okay. This is me representing a father look. But guys, we've really had so much fun. It's exciting to hear stories from different people and getting to know and understand how it feels for different, people, how they feel when it comes to fatherhood. So,
Yeah, so guys, just want to wish you guys an awesome Father's Day. I know it's not easy being a dad, but we just want to encourage you guys, keep going, walk with Christ, and for sure, tutatoboa si wote.
wow, amazing. So anyway, that wraps up the end of this video. So let's say Happy Father's Day!